Hi there. I'm so sorry it took me so long today. I would turn the camera that way, but you would all run screaming in terror from the spring cleaning that's happening on that side of the room. So I had to run downstairs and take a shower, and then I found out that the water had been leaking out of the fish pond in the front, and so I had to go fill up the fish pond, and it's been like all day, which actually goes along with one of the things that I have to share with you today because Tara was the savior this morning. Tara is responsible for there being a morning. So thank you. I'm trying to pull the picture up. And maybe we won't be able to do it that way. Maybe I'll just have to show you the first part. The first part is that Tara, oh, thank God. Yes, you, Tara. I'm looking in the chat window. Tara saved the morning for thing 2. She made the morning a very happy one for thing 1 because she sent him a little shark, which is so cute because look, there are even gills. There's gilly gills. Isn't that the cutest thing in the world? And such a great mouth. And such great eyes. Black eyes, dead eyes. Oh, and they are, because they're kind of glassy. Actually, Tara, your eyes are brilliant because let's see if I can get it to get on a side view. It's a button on top of a button. Maybe if I put my finger in there, it'll focus. Or not. So it's a little tiny black button on top of a pearl button. So smart. So cool. Yes, layered buttons for the win, indeed. So that made boys happy this morning, specifically thing number 1. He almost took it to school with him. You almost defied all the odds. It was so close, but no, that wouldn't happen. So that was number 1. I'm trying to pull the pictures up for number 2. Computers are great when they work. Erica's here. Hi, Erica. Are you at work? I don't want to get you in trouble, but I hope you're here for real. Can you listen? What time is it there? Erica says it's painfully slow at work and she has the sound off so she can just see me with great lipstick. Thank you. Playing with shark. Yes, and it is a great shark. And for reasons which are completely baffling to me, it won't show me these pictures. All right, well, we'll keep working on it. Some days computers make sense, and then there's the rest of the time, which just makes me sad. Yes, Erica, I have missed you a lot. You can see that just by how much trouble I'm having pulling up a picture and breathing. This has been the other problem lately. I spent all day yesterday at a doctor's office, and it was, I'd like to say it was a good use of time, but my mom told me not to lie, so not so much. I don't know. Doctors are weird these days, which I understand because it's taxing and miserable and hard work on top of just the being a doctor part. So I have one other way to try and get this picture to you, and if I can't, then I'm just going to switch to the browser and we'll see what happens when it happens. I've also been having applications just kind of randomly disappear. like they were in my applications folder, and suddenly not so much. So who knows? It's all very strange. But I don't know if you guys had a chance to watch last week's Brave New podcast, but Justin and I started it, and it was lots of fun. It's lots of fun to have people to talk to, like, because I talk to you. And Erica's having a chat in the window. I'm just going to let you go, Erica. And then this week, Justin and I are going to record privately, and then we will upload the audio portion publicly. But we're going to put teasers of our recorded session, both on audio and on YouTube. So you'll be able to see at least snippets of what's going on. And yeah, apparently I just didn't restart my computer enough times this morning. I got it. Okay. So this is the big win for Tara. So 3 cheers, hip hip hurrah to Tara, because Thing 2 decided not to take a shower until this morning, and Andrew had to leave super crazy early and thought he woke him up at 5:30 and didn't. So when I went in to get him at 6:20 to come have breakfast, he had not showered and he was miserable and had to rush around and everything. And in Tara's box was Felicia. So Tara, that's her name. Felicia, the rainbow squid. And you can't see, but she has a really cool squid tentacle, the long crazy kind. So Tara, you scored big. He actually told me to tell you today on the live stream that you saved his day. Not just saved the day, like, hey, you saved the day, but really actually saved his day. So well done you. Because he was not happy before that. So thank you. That worked very, very well. He also wanted me to take this picture of him because he is mostly a complete goofball. And there were my lungs again. So that's him with a squid on his head. I also tried to get a picture of Thing 1. Shh, don't tell anyone, because he's a teenager and he really doesn't want me to do this. But it's kind of cute. Although he has crazy eyes, because he was trying to look like he had crazy eyes. So that is Thing 2. Happy with his shark. So thank you. And I was wearing my bracelet from you, and when I had to drive Thing 2 to school today because he missed the bus, and I left it downstairs because I took it off before I came up here and dismantled the rest of the room. So sorry about that. But that was part 1 of all of the crazy. The other thing I wanted to share with you, I'm scrolling to the picture because these wouldn't import. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm just going to keep hacking up a lung, I'm afraid. I tried to breathe in steam. I got one of those pure air inhaler things, like a facial steamer thing, but it super microizes the water droplet so that it you can get more in to your nose and your lungs, and it is able to cross cellular walls and stuff like that faster, so you can hydrate yourself faster. That sucker works, I tell you what. But I didn't do it today because I've been dismantling stuff, and that's kicking up dust and all the stupid. So one of the things I wanted to share with you guys today was an app. This is an iPhone app. It is a bird song app. I know that sounds stupid, but if you've looked at my Clamor feed, and I think it comes out on my Twitter feed as well, you have seen my Saturday morning bird songs or my Sunday morning bird songs. And I don't know my birds out here. I feel like a total schmo, but I don't know my birds out here. So I wanted to get to one of the better recordings. There. So at the bottom of the screen, you can see there's a lot of bright green. That's because I got very, very close to some very, very loud birds. And you record, it does the auto recording for you. It auto records 30 seconds. And and Vicky is asking for a great cupcake recipe, not a gluten-free one, just a regular one. Oh, Vicky, I'm thinking. It had cream cheese in it, but I can't remember who did it. I will keep thinking. Anyway, you're supposed to use this app with one bird singing, which doesn't happen here ever. So I thought, well, it's not cheap. It was like $4 or something like that. And that's half price. So if you can get it now. But the thing that's so amazing is you can see it gives you a percentage of accuracy. And when I went through and I played their songs, these are the birds. I could tell, I could recognize, I could see, and that was really cool, and it was doing everything I wanted it to. So that was a lot of fun, and I'm going to get you the name of the app right now because I can't remember because I'm old. It's called, I could have remembered this, Bird Song ID. There are a bunch of them that were on the iPhone App Store. They were all sketchily reviewed, except for this one. And that's because this one is actually done by professors and people who know things about birds. But that's what the actual screen looks like. I'll blur it like that for you. And that middle blue line, it does not stand out. The middle blue line is actually a button, and it says auto record, or auto record in the middle. And that is the thing that will take you to the recording screen. And you just tap the record button and it does 30 seconds for you, and boom, booyah, birdiness. I actually think there is an Android app version of it. Bird Song ID. Look for it. There was something else along those lines that I'd wanted to show you. Nope. So instead, you remember how I showed you guys the squiddle pattern? I am actually going to release that one under a different name. This is the little tiny squid pattern that Thing 1 and 2 back in the day had wanted me to knit up for them. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, before Felicia showed up, Tara, Aiden Thing 2 had decided that he wanted me to make him one for thank you, Erica, for sharing my birthday. It's my big one, and I'm not happy about it. But I'm actually going to have a party this time. I figured I have friends. It's an excuse to get together and eat and drink, so Cinco de Tequila. So Thing 2 wanted a larger squiddle, and we tried to calculate how much yarn it would take to make a squiddle, having gone from, fine sock yarn and a little squiddle that's like 1.5 inches to 2 inches to a bigger one. He wanted like a stuffed animal size, and we just couldn't do the math. So we decided we'd go up incrementally. So we went to the yarn store, and I said, okay, we'll pick out some yarn that's maybe a worsted, and we'll start there, and we'll see how it goes. So because the boy has both taste and expensive taste, he decided to go with Malabrigo. Can you tell that he is my child just by the colors that he picked? And it is Malabrigo. And it is Mechita, Mechita, 100% merino superwash. It is 100 grams, 420 yards-ish. And I'm using a wait a minute. I don't think that's the right Malabrigo. I'm going to have to look in my bag again, but it is number 120 Lotus. And they're pretty lotusy colors, but this is what happens on a size. Oh, I tossed the bag over there. Size 6 on the Malabrigo worsted. So we went from a squiddle that was about 1 inch to 2 inches. And this, I have my ruler actually taped to my desk. Laying down flat, this is 3.25 inches, just laying there flat across. So that's where the needles are in. And it is 2.5 high. And I'm right at the turn. There's the pearl rows are at the beginning of the turn to create the base, and then attached to the base will be the legs. Well, he wanted to get button eyes, and so he picked out really cool, funky button eyes. But the non-shank on the back of the buttons, it was just the little knobby part that sticks off with a hole in it. I had a needle that went through that one just fine, and then it snapped the back of the button off on the other one. So I was kind of out of luck. So what did I do? I went and got the Sugru, and I created a shank. So that's what's going to happen tonight. Is I'm going to see if that works and holds. But I put a Le Creuset handle back together using the Sugru stuff, and you can cook it. I mean, it can withstand huge temperatures. So I think it'll be okay. But that was my my nifty jerry rigging. The other thing that I'm doing aside from ripping all of that room apart is this wall, which is the exterior wall. It is not insulated. And from last summer, it gets hot, and I had the air conditioner behind me, and we're still able to just run fans right now because this does not have central air. This is old. But I went back and I looked underneath the sheets that I hung up, and it's insulated in 2 places. And it's got like 4 feet of insulation in between 2 of the windows, and that's it. So I went and did a bunch of research, and I got wool batting. It is specially treated wool. It adds fire retardantness to the fire retardantness that is inherent in wool itself. And it's, a good 4 inches thick of wool batting. And then I also got thermosheath panels that are, between the 2 of them, crazy amount of soundproofing. So we'll see. Oh, bye, Erica. Bye. Oh, and I did not get a package from Erica yet. But I will, I'm sure, because she sent it. So I'm going to do an experiment in insulation. If anyone has done any insulating, let me know. This is not framed out. I mean, I'm not kidding when I say there's nothing to code in this place. The windows are each different sizes. There are no studs. There are no wall studs at all. The 2 that do function like studs are not 16 inches apart. They're 14 and something. So there's no doing it the normal way. And the poor guy at Home Depot was so confused. And I always walk up to these guys and say, I need somebody who's comfortable jerry rigging things, because this isn't gonna fit any particular standard model. And sometimes I get lucky and I find somebody who's capable, but not all the time. So this time, not so much. But I have some. Oh, one thing, Vicky, you had asked for a non-spoiler character info sheet. character list for Count of Monte Cristo. I am going to share an updated version of the one that I did a while ago. So that'll be coming out on this week's episode. And now I'm going to share from the Craft Literati group what Tara has been up to while I hack up a lung. So these are cute. So Tara, I'm going to assume you will tell us anything newsy about these, but these look like anklets. Like you're not going to put any more on them than that. But that yarn looks luscious. And you didn't put what yarn that is in there. So while we await information on those, coloring with your octopus. I love that you found that. And I love your little octopus guy. He is so adorable. Look at that. And those seed beads, it just kills me. Oh, actually, maybe you did tell us what this was. All of these were in the text. Oh, and there's Felicia. Okay, socks that rock medium weight in Scum Bubbles. Of course it's called Scum Bubbles. I love their names. And there now you can see, no, you can't. Now you can see the little squiddy tails or arms or stingy things. That is so cute. Holy cow. Wow, that's commitment. All right, so hang on, I'm going to go back and look. So finished some Dobby the House elf inspired colorway socks. Got it. Spent some time coloring with Terrence Von Tentacles, my favorite octopus. Started some Snape socks. Those must be the Snape socks. Interesting. Is this a repeating pattern? Are you going to have more of the pearly funkiness popping up for the rest of it? A wee dress for my mother's knit elephant, Miss Ellie. Oh my goodness. And a sweater to match. And a scarf for your basket of knits for next winter. So there's Miss Ellie's. That dress is adorable. How big is that? Is that like 6 inches or something long? Oh, that's adorable. And that is a big scarf. Are you planning on wrapping yourself in that? Because again, it's commitment. I like the Snape socks though. Those are really cool. Are you in a Harry Potter knit along? They have pearl bumps in a 394 pattern. Okay. All right. This makes sense to me. Well, we went when Thing 2 and I went and went to pick out the Malabrigo because we love our Malabrigo. When we went to pick it out, we went to the local yarn store and they had people out front who were spinning and doing all sorts of things. Wow, the dress was about 4 inches tall, the little Miss Ellie dress. It's amazing. Wow. My mind reels right now. So we went in and they had like, I don't know, 8 or 9 people spinning. They had someone there to shear an actual sheep, which they were about to deliver, and the Snape socks are from a year-long Happy Potter knit along with Katie. I like that, Happy Potter. That's kind of cool. They were doing an annual sheep to shawl thing at their store. They had, food for sale. It was like a kids bake sale kind of thing. And they were doing it for autism awareness. Any money that they made was going to autism awareness. I thought that was so cool. Yay. Oh, she actually did mean Harry Potter. I like Happy Potter, to be completely honest. I'll wait for your typing to catch up with you. Um, I think that's everything I've been working on. Really, it has been a lot of cleaning and pulling stuff apart and putting things back together again. And towels. That's so when I moved up here and I was having all the trouble with soundproofing and trying to figure out microphones and everything, and nothing was working right, there were very few tutorials on the web about how to soundproof a room, because it was the only way to truly soundproof anything is ridiculously expensive. Like the microphone you can kind of see is hanging in. You can see little cross. Um, they're not cross wires. They're actually elastic bands. You can see they're kind of crisscrossing there. That's because the microphone is actually resting inside a series of elastic bands, so that if the table shakes, or like it just did, if the table shakes, then they don't clank. The microphone doesn't clank against the holder, because you would hear that. So that's technically it's a free floating microphone. The only way to really soundproof a room is to have a free floating room, or as close to that as you can, because sound is conducted by materials, solid materials touching other solid materials. So if a truck rumbles, the rumble of the truck hits the wall, the vibration on the outside of the wall travels into the inside of the wall through the studs, the wall wood, the studs, if you have drywall, this is all plaster or nothing in the case of my wall. So it's the contact between the solid objects. So you can buy like a $2,000 recording room that you can put inside a normal sized room that has ventilation and everything, and it is kind of suspended inside a case, basically. Well, all that's well and good, but who has $2,000 to blow on something like that? So as I was checking for insulation and finding the one that had the most soundproofing that I could get, that was also a thermal block, I found a tutorial where a guy took a little decibel meter doohickey and tested all these different things, the foams and the really expensive studio foam and all this stuff. You want to know what wound up insulating against sound the best? Layers of towels. And I don't mean like tons of layers. I mean like 3 or 4 towels, beach towels, bath towels, terry cloth, layered together, sewn in the corners, and then knotted throughout, kind of like you would a quilt. So, maybe every 6 inches you put a little tie-in or a knot, and you hang them on a frame. And so he made a simple wooden frame, and then he stretched and staple gunned like you would a canvas for painting. He stretched a towel over the frame and staple gunned it around, and then flipped it over. So now it's kind of a box. It's a terry cloth base and then the wooden sides of the frame. And he layered his towels in there, 3 or 4 towels. And you don't do it tightly. You don't want to compress it, because sound is also trapped by air. So the more air you have in between the layers, the better off you are. And he just really tacked this stuff together and hung it up. And it was like a really crazy expensive sound booth wall. So I've been making frames. That's the other thing I've been doing. And I went to the thrift store and bought like $25 worth of towels. So I will be able to cover up the window for when I'm recording and I can't get into the booth because it's too hot this summer. And it should also help with the sound. But right now you see the first panel behind me, because it's resting on top of the art table. We've moved things around, and the art table behind the panel is what's left of the taxes that I haven't finished filing, and filing paperwork here. They've been filed with the government, and art supplies and everything, and it's just a crazy jumble. And I thought, oh, well, wouldn't it be better to have soundproofing back there so sound doesn't bounce funny and do all sorts of stupid stuff? So I've been doing more and more voiceover work for educational companies, so it kind of helps to be able to do it at my computer rather than having to get up and go into the booth and record in there. And that's it. That is my whole world. It's not a very exciting one this week. I'm sorry, I haven't done a whole lot of crafty stuff, but that may change. And I'm checking the Craft Literati group to see if there's anything else from you guys. Not yet, but I did see that somebody had posted something cool in the regular CraftLit. Oh. Wow. Okay, I didn't know about this. Holy smoke. Judy Winchester, I'm sorry that I just had that brain gap. I actually just went through a whole mess load of trying to figure stuff out in my head. Piecework recommends a needlework book of interest. What would Madame Defarge knit? Creations inspired by classic characters. That's the first Defarge book. I'm sorry Erica left. I will have to... I will totally have to let her know this. Wow. Holy smoke. And then there's, pieceworky things below that. Wow. Who knew? That's going back in time. Golly Moses. That's so weird. That doesn't happen very often where a book that's been out for a long time winds up getting any press. And here's something. Kirsten Huff shared this. It's called Sync Audiobooks. I think it was Sync Audiobooks for Teens. And these are free, I think she said. That's kind of cool. Oh, and it looks like it works with Overdrive, which is the thing that our library, and probably yours, our library uses as an audio book player. There's another player that does ebooks as well as audiobooks that our library uses, but it kind of comes and goes. And then yesterday, Tammy Canarella and my husband both wound up sending me, I don't know if you guys saw it or not, the Jane Austen bingo. This is the Jane Austen bingo card. Oh, stupid advertisement. Get out of the way. Jane Austen bingo card. All of your dresses look like nightgowns. A charming man attempts to flirt with you. This is terrible. He once took a walk with a cad. I love it. That is excellent. Definitely something to play while you're having a drinking game over tea or something like that. And Lily is still lobbying for us to do Ruth by Elizabeth Gaskell as our post Count of Monte Cristo book. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Oh, and Tara said she emailed me a Think Geek website email because they have Jane Austen things. Ooh, I will have to go look at that. So Ruth is, you can kind of tell by the picture on the cover, Ruth is a tragedy. This is another Problem of England book by Elizabeth Gaskell, kind of like North and South, except this one is about fallen women, and not just fallen, but manipulated women. And I'm going back and forth between doing Ruth and doing The Tenant of Wildfell Hall, which is the one Bronte that we haven't done. We did Wuthering Heights as a premium book ages ago, and then Jane Eyre, and so this would be Anne Bronte. So I'm kind of going back and forth between those. On this Count of Monte Cristo episode for this week, the Count says no. Dumas says, by way of Villefort, some interesting things about women. And he says some funny things about men coming from somebody else's, a woman's mouth. But coming from Villefort, I didn't think 2May was quite that hip. So there's some interesting stuff to listen for in that this week. Cool stuff. And that is it. I know it's a short episode, but you guys have had a nice long time to chat with each other, which is always good. And I'm gonna go rip up more stuff and then put it back together again. Cause that's what I'm doing. It's spring. It's that kind of thing. Oh well. All right. You guys take care of yourselves. Have a great week. Tomorrow we record. I'm not sure how long it's new, so we're not sure how long it's going to take us to get the YouTube clip up or to get the audio clip up. But if you want to listen to more of the 1984/Brave New podcast, go over to patreon.com and you can sign up there and find out more. And and you can see the trailer that Thing 2 made. He made a book trailer, and it looks really cool. I really liked it. So that's fun too. That's at the CraftLit.com. No, that's not at CraftLit.com. That's at the CraftLit YouTube channel. So youtube.com/CraftLit-channel, where you are if you are watching this, actually. All right. Take care. Have a great one, you guys. I'll see you next week, and I'll talk to you before that. Oh, and Julie Davis's book next week on the 9th. I'm going to tell you who wins the raffle. But if you want to enter the raffle, I'm so glad I remembered this. I almost forgot. Oh, here it is. Julie's book is the one that I mentioned on the podcast last week. But in case you're not watching in real time or listening in real time, Seeking Jesus in Everyday Life, Prayers and Reflections for Getting Closer. It is a lovely book. It is not a small book either. I mean, it's not Count of Monte Cristo big, but there's a lot here. Each page has kind of a theme and quotes from actual, people, thinker people, famous people, smart people. And then writing from Julie and kind of a meditation for the day. It's really nice stuff in here. So this is up for grabs, and it's signed by Miss Davis. So you can even see best wishes, Julie Davis. So cool. The raffle information is up at craftlit.com/448. And no, Kathy just said Classic Tales is reading Herland. I don't think he knows that we did it. Maybe he does. I will have to ping him. He's got such a lovely voice. I listen to his Count of Monte Cristo all the time because he does different voices for every single character. I don't know how he does it. So enter the raffle. Encourage your friends, share your raffle entry with friends so that they can enter the raffle as well. And, if you don't want the book, you can hand it to somebody who, might like that. But it's Julie, and it's awesome, and she's awesome. And the book is cool. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Now I'm really done. Bye. Have a good one.